My kids hopefully, will never be smarter than AI. They will never grow up in a world where products and services are not incredibly smart, incredibly capable. They will never grow up in a world where computers don't just kind of understand you and do, for some definition of whatever you can imagine. It'll be a world of incredible material abundance. It'll be a world where the rate of change is incredibly fast and amazing new things are happening. And it'll be a world where individual ability, impact, whatever, is just so far beyond what a person can do today.
Or even the meaning of human life. What happens when AI is mature enough and you have enough data to basically hack human beings, and you have an AI that knows me better than I know myself and can make decisions for me, predict my choices, manipulate my choices, and authority increasingly shifts from humans to algorithms. So not only decisions about which movie to see, but even decisions like which community to join, who to befriend, whom to marry. We increasingly rely on the recommendations of the AI, and what does it do to human life and human agency?
When we consider how modern education began, what it set out to achieve, how it was designed to function, and whom it was meant to serve, we may not be very surprised by these abysmal outcomes. Many of the goals seem doomed to fail. A diverse country, built on pillage and dehumanization, growing in its diversity through its consistent immigration and pluralist liberal ideals, yet at the same time sustaining a highly separatist, traditional, and ethno-religious population.
He should do his duty, and to impress him, takes on his multi-armed form and says, "Now I am become death, the destroyer of worlds."
How do we reconcile this conflict? Promises of equality and mobility built out of discrimination and subordination. How can any universal, standardized, compulsory system appease such a massive disconnected people that are constantly changing? It cannot. Industrial progressivism and market-based civilization directly contradicts tradition, lineage, the personal, posterity, and history itself. It is almost as if it was designed to fail at what it promised, yet succeed in what it withheld from the public. And if our education system has failed us, yet has over time produced the fourth industrial world machine for the power elite, well, then it is working as it was intended.
Well, in the year 2000, I think I'll probably be the spaceship to the moon dictating robots to robots, or else I may be, I don't know, in charge of a robot court, judging some robots, or I may be at the funeral of a computer, or if something's gone wrong with their nuclear bombs, I may be sort of coming back from hunting in a cave.
I don't think there is going to be atomic warfare, but I think that there is going to be all this automation. People are going to be out of work and a great population. And I think something has to be done about it. I think it'll be people will be regarded more as statistics than as actual people.
I don't think it's going to be so nice. I think sort of all machines everywhere, everyone doing everything for you. You know, you'll get all bored, and I don't think it'll be so nice.
We're going to take it, we're going to make it a current, we're going to bring this into a golden age like never seen before. Remember this, China wants to do it, Japan wants to do it, all of these countries want to do it. We have to produce massive amounts of energy if we're going to produce the new, if you look at some of the things that have been done and some of the things that we're going to do, but AI needs literally twice the electricity that's available now in our country. Can you imagine?
In the Manhattan Project, it was critical that we developed an atomic bomb before Nazi Germany did. Think of the world today if they had led and had an atomic bomb before we did. The world would be unrecognizable. AI's been around for a long time, but it's hitting critical mass now. In the next few years, AI is going to change our world, not just economically, but in science and also in national defense. China is working aggressively at AI. If they got a meaningful lead on us in AI, it will be a different world in the future. We have to lead and win the AI race, just like we did Manhattan Project. This is Manhattan Project 2.
By the time you get to, say, 1970 and you have enough nuclear weapons to destroy the world 20 times over, it just doesn't make any sense anymore. I've spoken a lot in different contexts about the sort of technology stagnation we've had
we'll come to
in the
that
last 50 years. But sort of one way to relate the tech stagnation to this theme is that it was just not motivated anymore. You know, if you can think of the Manhattan Project, the Apollo space program, had military motivation. And there is a certain sense in which I would like to see us accelerate technological and scientific innovation back to the rate at which these things were progressing the first half of the 20th century.
If we can solve that, we're going to need even more data centers, and we'll also be able to invent completely new schools of scientific and intellectual thought, which will be incredible.
Certain that we are literally on the brink of a new generation of technology that can make us our better selves.
So we're training systems to acquire human goals and pursue them on their own account. And Microsoft, which owns a big chunk of OpenAI and announced that GPT-4 shows sparks of AGI, I asked the author of that paper, Sebastian Bubeck, what are these goals that the systems are acquiring? And his answer, we have no idea. And his answer, we have no idea.
20th century America, a corporation and industry giant, had more special problems than one would be willing to fully admit as a statesman. Government made many attempts to cover massive wounds up with band-aids, but bureaucracy, surveillance, and engineering of its people and world power were its dominant fashion choices. Platitudes hailing equality and what is good for the goose is good for the gander rhetoric only replaced authentic social reform with market obsession, exponential forms of empty consumption, and GDP essentialism. Indeed, a truly anti-human historical endeavor. Is it America the free or home of the slave? It appears as if, from its inception, the United States was merely a united industrial club of elitists posing as humanitarians, strategically organizing the lives and experiences of its people for the purpose of utility, productivity, and corporate scalability. There is a paradox as a result. Though we all have been used like machine mules for centralized efficiency, we also have designed our self-worth out of its functions. Many people today generationally know very little outside of their occupations and develop their sense of self out of what they do, not necessarily what they know, the quality of their character, relationships, and how they experience life. Preoccupation with efficiency, productivity, and survival has made us too tired and distracted to thoroughly evaluate the experience of life. We judge each other through our relative market values as if we were instruments. We as a culture are defined by our industrial utility and perceived value of consumption and assets. In our machinic society, we are as valuable as our things are perceived as valuable. We want what we think other people want. This system has structured it such that we see quality of life through the acquisition and maintenance of good jobs and meaningless things. Then we judge and separate ourselves based on these superficial categories. We treat ourselves and each other the same way the industrial systems treats us, as a group object. The parental state has made ignorant children of us all, and we have not fallen far from the tree. The paradox is this: The bane of our condition supplies the foundation for our value systems. Through what we despise, that which works directly in opposition of our core essences, we chase meaning, purpose, and connection. Our careers give us a sense of pride or achievement and occupy the lion's share of our lives. We have been trained over generations to have such low expectations and ambition that many of our life goals have been comprised of long journeys to acquire a basic job. Bank account-based personal worth. All we know are the financial, labor, and education systems of false value they have given us. The elusive and moving target of success and the chore and endless chase of upward mobility. Meritocracy has always been the big stick with which we have been beaten, and he who has the stick also carries the carrot. If bureaucracy is the environment we have been raised in, clearly we are products of it. Unfortunately for us, bureaucracy and its models of efficiency are antisocial. They systematically break down the fundamental social institutions we need to maintain stable social, psychological, and spiritual health. It is no surprise why none of this has ever worked, and no one is thoroughly content in this condition. Yet today, these same models of antisocial efficiency are being stretched across the entirety of our living worlds. As they utilized education as a crucible for nation-state and industrial empire development in the modern era, supermodernity, today, the informational era of surplus and networked singularity is utilizing education once more as a crucible for social and interdimensional change at the biotechnological level. What occurred then is happening now. The difference is a matter of scale and technique. Do not let the personalities fool you. Not just students, but its people alike were controlled and incentivized by way of designed educational and industrial systems and architectures for generations, very similar to the algorithmic architectures that are controlling and incentivizing the current generations today. Same anti-human industrialist philosophy and processes, just new gadgets, new techniques. Rockefeller, Ford, Carnegie, even the United States government considered subservient citizens as a requirement for utilitarian access to the intellectual and physical labor of its people, carte blanche. How else could they develop a world power and capital enterprise in as little as 100 years? Slavery today has little use for our physical bodies. It now seeks access to the interiors of our very being. Our minds, behaviors, and attention becomes the novel capital of exponential proportions, reframing and collapsing the classic principles of capitalism.
You can have any good or service you want, at will, a future of abundance for all.
Yes, sir.
I'm cooking something. I'm cooking.
I'm cooking.
Okay.
Put it back over there too. Out of my way. Now what I'm gonna do is salt and pepper this too. See that? Got them going.